Alright, we are live. Welcome back to Victory Pace Racing League and to the finale of our Oktoberfest of Speed series. This one is should be a good one. Standings are extremely close. There's really 3-4 teams that could take this thing at the end of the night. And we're on our third of 3 rounds here at the Nürburgring GP in the BMW M6 Endurance model. Right now we're on board with RWB Little Mac representing GT Champions as he makes his way around track on Zoplat. Just give you a bit of background on the series. Oktoberfest of Speed is a team-based series, so we've got teams of 3 competing here. They're representing either a GT7 team or a GT7 league. We've got a few teams that are affiliated or run leagues that have entries in here. So kind of multiple entries from teams, but they each act as their own separate team for the purposes of this championship. The way classification happens, it's actually not by finishing order, but by total cumulative lap time of the 3 drivers representing each team. So at the end of each round, we've been adding up total race time for all the drivers, and the team with the fastest total race time is first place, second fastest total race time is second, and so on. After round 2, we've got 2 teams tied for the lead, Sector 7 Racing and Auto Racing Connected at 26 points apiece. We've got Greasy YouTube Racing with 24 points in 3rd place, Speedhouse Racing with 22 points in 4th. And we've got 4 teams in the middle of the pack tied at 17 points, Aston Gang, Midwest Esports, Infinite Octane Racing Team, Victory Pace Racing Team, and then we've got RWB Racing with 10, GT Champions with 9, Victory Pace Racing League with 7, Epilepsy Awareness Racing with 7, Gearbangers Racing League with 7, and Monkey Mafia Esports with 6. Points also awarded for fastest lap, and that is fastest lap between all 3 lobbies. So the team that the driver who has the fastest overall lap between the 3 lobbies races for gets an extra point there, and same for pole position. So the fastest qualifier across all 3 lobbies, their team gets an extra point there as well. In our lobby tonight, we'll go down through the order here quickly. We have Hovercraft representing Sector 7 Racing. We've got Little Mac representing GT Champions. We've got Sector 7's Nuke representing Greasy YouTube Racing. We've got Tukes representing the newly minted Speedhouse Racing, who are just launching their own league, Ultimate Flat Out. We've got Quiet Bird here, representing Infinite Octane Racing Team. RWB BP Millets, he is representing RWB Racing. Chef, representing Victory Pace Racing League. Eric, representing Epilepsy Awareness Racing. Toto Wolf, representing the Aston Gang. G-Locked, representing Victory Pace Racing Team. Mac Daddy, representing Monkey Mafia Esports. Mr. Hamza, representing Auto Racing Connected. That's Ridwan F1, more commonly known as. We've got P Boost here, representing Gear Bangers Racing League, also a recent addition to the GT7 racing scene. We've got Say here. He is a sub for Midwest Esports this evening. And looks like we actually lost a driver somewhere in the mix here, so we'll get them back in for the race. Just they'll start from the back of the grid if they haven't set a lap already, which I don't know if they have. We'll figure that out once quali is done. So we got a 10-minute quali here with 180-second runoff to allow drivers to finish the laps, followed by a 40-minute endurance race. Tire requirement to run soft and medium tires. So again, on board here with Hovercraft, he's got the fastest lap at the moment by half a second over Toto Wolf. He's just coming around to finish his next hot lap here. And he's actually into the pits. Let's see, Toto Wolf is kind of caught up behind Chef there. Still going a little bit faster, he's 0.2 faster. Coming through the final sector here into the chicane. Chef moves out of the way and Toto Wolf is through. Let's see if that cost him any time. He was about 0.2 up on his time coming into this final sector. And he crosses the line. No improvement, so he did get held up a little bit there. That's unfortunate. RWB's BP Millets, he's just coming through Sector 1 here. Tukes as well, coming through Sector 1. RWB's Little Mac, same. Let's see if we can find someone coming across the line here shortly. We got P-Boost for Gear Bangers, so he is coming through the final set of turns here now. And he crosses the line here shortly, and we've got a new purple lap set by Ridwan, 155.3. Nice lap. 157 for Boost. Ridwan back in for a fresh set of those soft tires. Tire wear is on here, so these drivers will likely just be doing an out lap plus a hot lap and then getting a fresh set of rubber on there just to make sure they're working with the best tires possible. Let's see, our next across the line is going to be Little Mac, so we'll sit with him here for a minute. See how he's doing. Coming into the chicane. Nicely done. Clean out of there. Good exit. And he's coming through the last corner here. Let's see if he improves on his time. He's about 2 seconds back of Ridwan. Yeah, and he picks up a good half second there. Puts himself up into 5th spot. RWB's BP Millet coming through here now, crossing the line. He does not improve. Tukes, let's see who we got cross the line next. Toto Wolf, he crosses the line. No improvement for him. Let's see, G-Locked for VPRL. He improves by 0.4, brings himself up into 10th place. Chef and Mac Daddy cross the line. Chef's in 13th, Mac Daddy is in 12th. And Eric crosses the line. He's still sitting in 14th. He's 9 seconds back of Red One there on his lap time. Let's get on board with our provisional pole sitter. We got just under a minute left in qualifying here. Again, there is a 180-second runoff, so the drivers will have an opportunity to finish their lap. So Ridwan crosses the line. That was an out lap for him. And in second place we have Say now. He's half a second back. Hovercraft, another half second back from him. Toto Wolff, another half second back. We got Little Mac, 1.5 tenths back from Toto in 5th place. VP Millet, just a couple of hundredths off of Little Mac in 6th. Tukes, a 10th down in 7th. P Boosts, 10.5 down. And he's got a 10th in him right now. We got Nuke crossing the line, no improvement there. Tukes crossing the line, no improvement there. Doesn't look like Say's going to be going for another lap. So Ridwan is looking good, and he's going purple again by 6/100ths of a second. Let's see, Hovercraft is done. Toto Wolff is done. Little Mac is done. Millet. So we've got some drivers coming across here. Let's see. Chef and Mac Daddy. No improvement for either of those drivers. So really this is all Ridwan. Let's see if he can improve on that lap. As he comes through the last corner here, he's already half a second clear. Oh, and he picks up a penalty going a little wide on that last corner. But he has this one in the bag, I would say. We do have a few other drivers out on track. Let me just see who we got here. We got P Boost coming through. He does not improve. And our last driver is Eric coming through. Let's see if he can make an improvement on that lap. His fastest at the moment is a 2:04.8, and no, he had some trouble on that lap by the looks of it. Alright, well there we have it. Lobby 3, pole sitter is Ridwan. We'll just wait for the timer to run out here. So Ridwan in with a 1:55.3, half a second behind him we got Say in second place. Sector 7's Hovercraft here with, he's a second back. Toto Wolff, another half a second down on Hovercraft. 10.5 back to Little Mac in 5th place. BP Millet again, just a couple of hundredths back of Little Mac in 6th place. Tukes, a 10th and some change, back in 7th place. Same for Boost, just under 2 tenths. He sits in 8th. Sector 7's Nuke, 0.3 of a second back, and he's got just over half a second back to G-Locked in 10th. Quiet Bird, a couple hundredths back in 11th. 0.2 to Mac Daddy, 2.5 seconds back to VPR's Chef, repping VPRL in the series. And then we've got Eric in 14th, and he's 9.5 seconds back of Ridwan's time. Alright, let's exit out of here. Quali is done. We will get our screenshots here. There we go. And just type a quick message to the drivers here. Red flag rule. There we go. Alright, let's see. We got everyone ready here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Who did we lose? Anyone? No, we got everyone here. And everyone's good to go. Alright. We'll give the drivers one more minute here. Looks like we got just about everybody readied up there now. All right. Let's get this started. Alright, here we go. And looks to be a clean start so far. Turn 1 is going to be the big question mark, as always in these races. Ridwan is through safely. Let me go down through the order here quickly. Looks like most everyone is good. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Let's have a quick look through here. Sorry you're not getting to see much of the start. I'm just making sure we got no cars with... We got one car with damage, but that's it. Oh, and we got a guy left the room. Unfortunately, Little Mac looks like he disconnected. Not sure if he was involved in that incident at turn 2-3 there, complex or not. So Ridwan out to a quick lead after what was a pretty chaotic first couple turns. But again, red flag rule in this is that there has to be 2 or more cars damaged as a result of an incident, and we did not have that in this instance. Alright, he's building that lead out up over 2 seconds already. We got Say here representing Midwest Esports in second place. He's got 2.5 seconds back to Tukes. Speedhouse Racing. He's got 0.3 back to Sector 7's Hovercraft. And then we got Sector 7's Toto Wolf here representing the Aston Gang. Quietberg for Infinite Octane in 6th place. P-Boost for Gearbangers, G-Lock for Victory Pace Racing Team, Sector 7's Nuke here for Greasy YouTube Racing, and he's into the pits already to get rid of those hards. We'll see a variety of different tire strategies here. These drivers have to use all 3 compounds. And we've got Eric here. Looks like he might have been in the middle of whatever happened. He's 40 seconds back of our leaders already on those racing hard tires. tire wear is set at 4 times, fuel at 2 times, so you will see these tires wear down pretty quickly. Tire strategy has made a difference in our first 2 rounds, so we'll see how these drivers decide to play those cards. Mediums seem to be a nice balance of tire wear and speed, so I think we'll probably see our drivers on those for the longer stint. The softs wear out pretty quickly. They're faster, but they don't last very long at all. So Ridwan's out to a quick 4-second lead here over Say in second place, who's got almost another full 4 seconds back to Hovercraft. We do have a tire differential there. Say is sitting in the middle of 2 medium-clad BMWs. He's on the hards. Toto Wolff just over half a second back from. Let me see. We get some messages in the Discord here. See what happened. Stand by 1 second here. Oh, sorry about that, folks. We had a driver in one of the other lobbies in the wrong car. He was in the sprint model instead of the endurance model. So just sorting out that for him. Alright. Let's get back to the action here. So, Ridwan well out in front, 5 seconds now on those racing medium tires. Say he's holding steady, still got a gap of 4 seconds back to third place. Hovercraft here, we got a bit of a battle here between these 3 cars, Hovercraft, Toto Wolff, and Quiet Bird. Alright. So those 3 have a nice little battle going. 2 of them on the mediums. We got Quiet Bird here on the softs. I think he's the only driver to take that particular strategy. Took's on the hards. So he's done a couple laps on those. He's right in the mix though. G-Lock's also on the mediums. BP Millet on the mediums. Chef on the mediums. Boost on brand new mediums, so he's pitted already off the hards. Nuke on mediums. Mac Daddy's also pitted to take off the hards and get on those mediums. And we've got Eric here, he's on fresh mediums as well, so he's done his hard stint. And our leader's going to be catching up to him here shortly. So he'll be seeing some blue flags here momentarily, I expect, for Ridwan coming through in first place. And we can just start to see Ridwan in the background there as Eric makes his way through that second complex of turns. Let's go back with our leader here. He's built out that lead to 7 seconds now. So he is moving. He's got our fastest lap so far in this lobby. 156.18. Say's keeping that gap pretty steady there now, though, around 7.5 seconds, and he's built a bit of a gap back to Hovercraft in third place. 5 seconds now. It was just 4 and change there when we last checked with these drivers. So Hovercraft and Toto Wolff. Still not much to decide between those 2 drivers, just half a second, and we got Quiet Bird just half a second behind them. So these 3, probably the closest battle we've got on track at the moment. If we look a little bit further back here, we've got Tukes and G-Locked. Just over a second separating these 2. We'll stick with them maybe for a minute, see if G-Locked can make up some ground here. losing a little bit right now. That gap is stretched out to 1.5 seconds. And yeah, he's going to be a bit far back to think about anything into that chicane. It's one of the passing opportunities, that braking zone here on this. Turn 1 is another, of course. Comes with risk, and we got Tukes into the pits on those hards. So he completed 4 laps on those, and he's in to trade them in. We'll see when he comes out what he's got in store for a strategy. Good lap from BP Millet there. He improves by almost a second over his previous fastest lap. He's on those mediums as well. He started on those. Tuke's still in the pits. VPR's Chef here, cruising along. He's putting in lap times just over 2 minutes, sorry. So a little bit off the pace there. Tuke's back out on those mediums, and as I said, those are probably going to be the tire of choice for most of our drivers. We got Mac Daddy here in the Halloween livery for Monkey Mafia Esports. Very nice. Looking good there. And we got Eric with some blue flags there as Quiet Bird overtakes him cleanly. Nice job. We do have a pretty good variety of skill in this series, but honestly it's made for some great racing. All the drivers have been good and aware of what's going on around them, so in instances where they are seeing blue flags, you know, they're letting those guys by when it's appropriate to do so. Hamza, he's got that out to a 10-second lead now. He's just running away with this on those racing mediums. Putting in nice consistent laps as well, as you can see, mostly in the 156s. He's got one into the low 157s and 157.0 last time around, but he just continues to put in consistent laps and build out that lead back to Say in second place. And Say, I mean, he's losing ground to Ridwan, but he's building a bit of a gap back to Hovercraft there in third place. He's got that just up over 5 seconds, 5.5 seconds here now. And Hovercraft and Toto Wolf still nose to tail here, just half a second between the two of those drivers as they're making their way around on those racing mediums. And Quiet Bird's fallen off those two just a little bit. He's 2 seconds back there now as those racing softs are really starting to fall away from him. So you can see now 6 laps into this race, mind you, with a full load of fuel, those softs burn up pretty quickly. So I expect we'll see him in pretty soon as the tires kind of fall off a cliff here in GT7 since the last few updates with the new updated physics model. Once those tires hit below halfway, it's really a marked decrease in traction. So makes that M6, which can already be a pretty spicy car to take around this track, makes it that much more challenging. He's got a big gap, 7.5 seconds back to 6th place. VPR's G-Locked, who's got BP Millet all up in his gearbox, just 0.4 of a second between those two. G-Locked still on those mediums that he started the race with. BP Millet on mediums as well, looking a little fresher, maybe at least that front left. We'll stick with these two for a minute, see what if BP Millet goes for a move down into turn 1 here as they come through the final sector. Oh, he gets a little loose there back end coming through that final couple of corners, and that gap is back up to just around a second, so he'll be getting a bit of a tow from G-Locked. Tow really starts to take effect in GT7 around 0.7 of a second, so you can see he made up a bit of a ground there. Does give G-Locked a little something to think about, but ultimately hangs in behind him here. He'll set this one up maybe later in the lap if he's able to close that gap up a bit more. He's got a nice comfortable gap back to 8th place, and VPRL's Chef running for the host league of this series, VPRL. Who's got Tukes breathing down his neck here on some fresh racing mediums. Tukes a quick driver, so he'll be looking to close that gap on Chef pretty quickly and move his way up the order. Sector 7's Nuke here, 2 seconds behind Tukes. And he's just got about 7/10ths back to Boost. Nuke's on those mediums, Boost on those mediums, Mac Daddy on mediums as well. And Eric back here in last place, he's 2.5 minutes down on our leader. But I mean, Ridwan is running away with this thing from everyone in the field, so can't say too much about that. So we got, yeah, he's got this up to 14 seconds now, so he's really putting in quick, consistent laps, and really in a class of his own here so far in the first 13-14 minutes of this one. We'll stick with him for a minute here. He makes his way through the first sector. So again, Ridwan representing Auto Racing Connected, or ARC. And these guys are one of the teams in contention for the overall championship here. They're sitting tied for the lead right now, 26 points with Sector 7 Racing. Sector 7 in this one is Hovercraft, who's back there in 4th place. Again, this championship is not decided by finishing order in the lobbies, but by cumulative race time of the 3 drivers for each team. And they've got 1 driver in each. So while Ridwan is certainly doing his part, he's got to rely on the other 2 drivers from his team in the other lobbies to put in some quick, clean laps as well to try and secure that overall championship. Back in 2nd place, Say, he's putting in a blue lap here. He's still on those racing hards. And putting in good laps on those. So obviously, you know, that tire differential is going to tell a bit of the story as to why he's losing ground to Ridwan. Certainly there is a pace difference between those mediums and hard tires. But he's also built a nice comfortable lead over, well, it looks like Toto Wolff here now in 3rd place actually, so he must have overtaken Hovercraft. Both these drivers on mediums as well, so they've got a tire advantage over Say, but he still managed to pull out a good lead over those 2. Let's see as they come into the final corner here. Oh, Hovercraft goes a little deep there. Makes a nice exit. Toto Wolff gets a little loose on the exit there. And they're going to come through the final turn. Hovercraft is going to be a bit far back to go for a move there into the first corner, but we can see he is closing that gap down the straight, picking up a little bit of a toe from Toto Wolff. Not going to be enough though as they enter the braking zone, and they're both through there cleanly. So 10 seconds back to G-Lock in 5th place. Again, he's got BP Millet right on his tail there. And we got something happened to Tukes was behind Chef, so that's right. So he's got 17 seconds to make up to BP Millet, but I do believe that Tukes is probably the highest placed car so far of our cars that have taken a pit stop. I don't think BP Millet or anyone ahead of him have stopped yet. So Tukes, he has the advantage of having done his first pit stop, and I can tell you the pit loss here is more than 16 seconds, so he'll make up a few positions once these drivers come in to switch tires. So Chef back there, he's just 2 seconds back at Tukes. He's on those racing mediums that he started with, and we got Boost right on his gearbox, just 3/10ths back in 9th place. He's on a little bit fresher racing mediums. Nuke, less than a second back there. So we've got a good little group of cars here. 5, 6 cars all within, you know, less than 10 seconds of one another. So Nuke rocking that blue and green, greasy Sasquatch YouTube racing livery there. Nice design on that one. Again, we got Mac Daddy back there in that Halloween livery from Monkey Mafia Esports. We got Boost here. Nice clean livery on that Gear Bangers car. As he overtakes Chef there. Chef going into the pits, it looks like. Is he? Or did he have something happen there? Yeah, he lost a couple spots there. Let's see if we can see what happened to Chef here coming into the last corner. No, we can't. We missed it. Alright, let's go back up with our leader here, see what that gap's out to. 20 seconds now. So again, he's just, you can see those mediums are starting to wear down a bit. He's almost halfway through this one though. Don't mind the please refuel, it's just a Gran Turismo glitch. You can see he's got over half a tank of fuel there. Fuel should not be an issue for these drivers. They should be able to make the full distance on that tank of fuel they started with. Unless they've got a really heavy right foot, should not be a consideration. So again, 20-second gap back to Say in second place. And he's kept that gap back to Toto Wolff pretty steady, still right around 6 seconds. So no, he's into the pits here, made a little mistake it looks like on pit entry. And that gap closed right up to 2 seconds. So we'll see what that looks like when they come out of the pits. So Hovercraft now for Sector 7 is up into second place. Again, he's not pitted yet, so he's, you know, net he'd still be in 4th place, I think, here once everybody's through their pit stops, assuming there's no major undercut advantage at this track. We haven't seen that yet, though, and Hovercraft gets it a little bit wrong coming through that complex of corners in the first sector here, but he gathers it up pretty quickly and continues on. He's about 27, 28 seconds back of Rid 1 in first place. VPR is G-locked here in 3rd place. He's almost 12 seconds back from Hovercraft. He's got about 3 seconds back to BP Millet, so he did gain a little time on BP Millet. I think last time we looked at these two drivers, they were pretty much nose and tail. So I'm not sure if something happened to BP Millet or G-Log's just putting in some good laps here. Doesn't appear to be anything too crazy, but certainly BP Millet's been a little bit slower on the last 2 laps than G-Locked. So Toto Wolff back out of the pits, and yeah, he got ahead of Say. So he's out here on the racing hards. Say's onto the mediums. So Say did run those hards for quite a while. We're doing well for him, but looks like a little mistake on his in-lap cost him that net second place here as Toto Wolff comes out ahead of him, making up that gap that was pretty significant. It was 6-7 seconds before the pit stop. So Hovercraft is now into the pits. He's going to change out those racing mediums. Tukes here on the mediums, so he's in 7th place. Again, he's already stopped way back on lap 6. So he's got 5 laps now on these racing mediums after having pitted off of the hards. So he'll take these for quite a bit here, I think, before we see him go on to the softs. Toto Wolff into the pits again with those hards, so he is going to try and take those soft tires for a good long stint. We got 18 minutes left in this one with 180-second runoff. And man, he's got a job ahead of him if he's planning to take those soft straight to the end of this one, because they wear out pretty quickly. So he's down a minute off of our leader here now, but again, Ridwan had a 20 seconds gap back to second place. So I guess that's not surprising with Toto Wolff having done 2 pit stops now to Ridwan's 0. Oh, Eric off track here. He's got nobody around him. Oh, he does have someone coming through the chicane there, but he let them through, no issue. Nice to see. Alright, Ridwan back into that BMW, gets a little loose coming through that turn there. And that lap a little slower than what we've seen the last few from Ridwan, but again, he's got that 43-second lead there. He is yet to pit, so we're going to see 2 pit stops from him before the end of this race. But as of right now, he's sitting pretty comfortably out there in the lead. G-Locked has, looks like he's done, I mean, GT7 is saying 2 pit stops. I think he's only done 1. Unfortunately, the timing screen isn't all that reliable here. Oh, he's coming in for his second pit stop now. So let's see what he's going to do. BP Millet is in behind him. These 2 guys were running on the mediums. So Say is back up into second place. After that sequence of pit stops, and we see Ridwan has that gap is up to 52 seconds now. Again, Ridwan hasn't stopped yet, so I expect it's a little bit closer to the 20 that we saw before Say took his pit stop, but we'll see once Ridwan comes in. He's got 5 seconds back to Tukes, so Tukes has done well for himself here to stay up with these guys. He's sitting in third now, but again, some pit stops to go before this one all shakes out. Boost for Gear Bangers back here in fourth. He's just almost 7 seconds back to Tukes in third. But he has Mac Daddy less than a second behind him, and Mac Daddy has Sector 7's Nuke running for Greasy Sandwich YouTube Racing right on his gearbox, 0.2 of a second down. And looking like he might be going for a move here into the right-hander, and he is. Nice clean pass, well set up there by Sector 7's Nuke, driving for Greasy Sam's Bunch Racing. Mac Daddy tucks in behind him. Again, another opportunity to overtake coming up here at the end of the big straight before the chicane. We'll see if he tries to get that spot back. So I see we've got Ridwan in to take off those medium tires, and looks like he went to the softs. Let's make our way down through the order here and we'll rejoin him. G-Locked on some brand new hard tires. Again, 14 minutes to go here. So we're starting to see a little bit of the difference that our different strategies are creating. Toto Wolff here, he's a minute back of our leader, but that far off pace, so he's got some folks ahead of him that still need to stop again. Couple them in here now, so we see Toto Wolff gain a couple spots up to 6th place. Let's rejoin our leader here, Ridwan. So he's got that gap out to 32 seconds now. So about 10 seconds in the difference between when Say pitted and Ridwan did. So again, nice comfortable lead for him. He's got those racing softs. We'll see how long he can make those last. And he'll have to do a stint on hard. Some of our drivers have chosen to do just a single lap on those. Some have done upwards of 6-7 laps. All the drivers have to do is satisfy GT7 tire requirements. So there is no league minimum that they need to run each tire compound. They just need to not get a 1-minute penalty at the end of the race for not having run all 3 compounds. And generally that means they put their tires on at the start of the lap, take them off at the end if they choose, and that satisfies the requirement. So Ridwan coming across the line on his out lap after having pitted here. And again, a very, very comfortable lead. Let's go back to the back of the pack here. So we got Eric coming in for another pit stop. He's going to get rid of those racing mediums. VPR's Chef. He's a minute 44 down, so he'll start to see our leader come through here in the not too distant future. Ridwan will be coming through to lap him. He's got a bit of a gap back to up to 11th place there, almost 37 seconds. Up to Mac Daddy, who's here representing Monkey Mafia Esports. Here things are a little closer. We've got Sector 7's Nuke here, who's driving for Greasy YouTube. Just a second between those two, and then a bit of a gap up to Quiet Bird, almost 9 seconds. So we got Boost coming in, getting rid of those mediums. So Quiet Bird inherits 7th place as a result of that. And he's closing up a bit here on BP Millet, so Quiet Bird's on those racing medium tires. BP Millet on racing hard, so a bit of a tire differential there. A bit of a tire wear differential too, as you can see those mediums on Quiet Bird are going away a lot faster than the hards that BP Millet's running. BP Millet's slowly closing the gap up to Hovercraft here, who's on a couple lap old set of softs. He's just 3 seconds back at Toto Wolff in 4th place, but he's almost a full minute back of Ridwan, our race leader. Toto Wolff putting in some consistent laps here. Last couple laps, we'll see as he comes through here now. Yeah, he's got a couple 158s in the bag on those racing softs. Tukes on some about halfway worn racing mediums. He's sitting in 3rd now. He'll have another stop to do before the end of this one. But he's kind of out on his own here right now. He's got 8 seconds behind him to 4th place and 10 seconds ahead of him to Say in 2nd, and he's into the pits. So this will be the final sequence of pit stops. We got Say in the pits here too, getting rid of those racing mediums. About 10 minutes left in this one. So these guys will be firing on some racing softs and trying to take them right to the end. So as a result of those stops, we got Toto Wolff here in 2nd place now. You can see those racing softs are already about a 3rd worn here. He's had those on for just a couple laps. Don't pay any attention to the right hand side of your screen there. That is not correct for his pit intervals, but I would say he's going to have a hard time holding off our 3rd place driver Say here, who is on brand new softs, and I can't imagine Toto plans to pit again here, so we'll see how this works out. But he's asking a lot of those racing soft tires here, given the 4 times tire wear. So Hovercraft is here in 4th. He's got a couple lap old softs as well. And he's a bit less than 2 seconds back, as Say in 3rd place. So, you know, yeah, he and Toto Wolff are probably around the same. Looks like Toto's might be maybe a lap older. Or Hovercraft is a little bit better at saving his tires than Toto. But this should make for an interesting finish if these 3 are able to keep these tires working for them through to the end of this race here in about 8 minutes. And we can see Hovercraft, he's putting in some blue sectors, so certainly that tire wear is not slowing him down any. Tukes is about 10 seconds back of him in 5th place here. He's on some brand new racing softs, so you should have no problem taking those for the last 8 minutes of this race. He's got 1.8 back to Quiet Bird, who's on some, you know, mediums that are about halfway worn. I think he's got one stop left as well, so obviously still a bit of shuffling around to go for our field here as they finish their 2 pit stops. Nuke 2 seconds behind him on some pretty new softs. Boost, same deal. He's 5 seconds back in Nuke, but I expect he'll close up. He's on some fresher softs and he's putting in some solid lap times here. G-locked, 2.5 seconds back of him. He's on some fairly fresh softs as well as he comes into turn 1 to start his lap 17 here. Matt Daddy 1.5 seconds back. So we got a pretty tight little group here in the middle of this one. Ridwan, again, let's see what that lead is out to here now. Yeah, still 56 seconds as he's overtaking our 12th place driver, VPR's Chef there, racing for VPRL. We'll watch them come into the last corner, or the first corner here, sorry. 56-second lead for Ridwan over our 2nd place driver, Say. So Say, he's, yeah, that gap back to Toto Wolff closed up, well, opened up. Toto Wolff losing that spot to Say. So a change in 2nd place here. That tire differential, like I said, Toto's going to have a hard time getting the softs to the end of this one. Another 6 minutes to go here. Hovercraft closing in on him. His tires are just maybe a little fresher than Toto's, but not by a whole lot. Should make for an interesting finish between these two. And then a bit of a gap back to Tukes in 5th place. He's representing Speedhouse or UFO Racing. Some pretty fresh softs under him there. Let's go back up to Ridwan here, as he is putting in some laps. So he set a new fastest lap of 1:55.1 here on those softs. So his first hot lap after that pit stop. And then the softs are already starting to fall off a bit. You can see his lap time dropped by a couple tenths each lap so far, and he's almost 9 tenths off his fastest lap here through the first couple sectors of this one, as he's coming into that final chicane here. We'll see what things look like as he crosses the line. Again, he's got almost a minute lead here with 5 minutes to go. So I don't expect we'll see him bother changing those tires around. He's catching up to Eric here, who's seeing those blue flags waved. We'll see if he makes way for Ridwan coming through that corner. And yeah, Ridwan's able to get by nice and cleanly. Eric held a tight line there. Stayed predictable. That's what those drivers want as they're lapping you. Don't do anything you wouldn't normally do. Stay on the racing line and they'll find their way around you. So good job there by Eric, letting Ridwan by. Say back here, again, 55 seconds, 56 seconds back from Ridwan. He's coming through the final turn here onto the start-finish straights. Toto Wolff, 3 seconds behind him, so he's losing ground a little bit. So Hovercraft in turn is gaining on him a little bit. So we'll watch these two into the first corner here, as Hovercraft should have a pretty good run on him with the toe. Just down under 4 tenths as they come into the final turn, and no, he's going to hang on. He's just going to hang back there and try and set that one up for a little bit later in the lap. Let's see if he can keep that gap. Yeah, so a couple tenths there, up to 4 tenths, as these two are just nose and tail here. Again, these two drivers are teammates outside of this series. Toto Wolff is representing the Aston gang in the Oktoberfest of Speed, and Hovercraft is representing his actual team and Toto Wolff's actual team, Sector 7. let's just stick with these two here and see if Hovercraft tries to make a move here coming through the last couple sectors of this lap. Looks like he's being held up maybe just a little by Toto Wolff. Again, not really a whole lot of opportunities to overtake through this section of the track, so I expect he will try and get as close as he can on exit out of this next corner, maybe have a look into that final chicane, and if not, try and set things up. Oh, and Toto Wolff got things a little wrong there, took a half-second track limit penalty, and that back end, he had a little disagreement on which direction they wanted to go. Hovercraft is cleanly up the inside. Nice pass into that chicane by Sector 7's Hovercraft on Toto Wolff, who will soon, unfortunately for him, be serving a penalty coming up on this lap. So Toto Wolff, he's got a pretty good gap back to Tukes, almost 9 seconds. Tukes on those racing softs as we're coming down to what's going to be the final lap for most of these drivers here. So let's go up with our leader here. Where's he on track? So yeah, he's got 1 minute and 15 left. So Ridwan will have one more lap after this one for a total of 21. And we might have a couple more drivers just squeak across the line. At least our second place driver might squeak across the line here. Oh, as Ridwan is into the pits here for the final time. He's going to get rid of those racing softs, put on the racing hards for the final lap, I assume. And where is Say here in second place? So he's got 30 seconds to go. Yeah, so he's just coming up towards that final straight there now. And Ridwan's already back out of the pits on those racing hards, and he will finish on those. So Say is not going to hit the start-finish line, so this will be his final lap as well. So our entire field will be finishing this time around. As Say comes across the line for a hard-earned second place, about 8.5 seconds back to Sector 7's Hovercraft. He crosses the line. Toto Wolff manages to hang on to fourth place there. Those two drivers really driving on the carcasses of those soft tires. Tukes with a 5th place. Sector 7's Nuke for Greasy Sam Squanch YouTube Racing. He's 8 seconds back at Tukes. He crosses the line here in 6th place. P-Boost, 4 seconds back for Gear Bangers. G-Locked for VPRL in 8th. Mac Daddy for Monkey Mafia Racing, 9th. BP Millen, 10th. Quiet Bird here, he's 25 seconds back. Oh, makes a little mistake into the chicane there. Gets it moving again though. And he's going to cross the line in 11th place. Not really much for him to worry about there. He's got 13 seconds back to VPR's Chef in 12th place. Eric in 13th, and let's get back on board with our leader as he comes through the final turn here. And he is going to cross the finish line and cap off an absolutely dominant performance. You know, he had a lead of upwards of 55 seconds at points there. Ended up, you know, by GT7 at least a full lap ahead of the field. Just an overall great performance by Ridwan in this one. So he will have to wait to see how his two teammates do in Lobby 1 and Lobby 2. Sounded like there was some technical difficulties in Lobby 2 and one of his teammates might have had a disconnect. So we will see what comes out there. But another great race to cap off this series, Series 5 in VPRL, the Oktoberfest of Speed. Stay tuned in our Discord after this race and on our Instagram and other social media as we are going to announce Series 6, which is going to be a collaboration with a well-known name in the GT7 community. Pretty excited for this one. Got some great stuff lined up, got some great prizes, and hoping to get some of these great drivers that we had here in Series 5 back out racing with us. This series, really, the amount of talent that has been across these 3 lobbies has been really something to watch. It's been a great series. It's been close, clean racing, and like I say, right down to race 3 here, it's been anybody's championship. So we'll see how things shake out here in the other 2 lobbies. We'll once we have an opportunity to review any incident reports that come in for our drivers, we'll be posting up those results. But as I say, stay tuned for the announcement on Series 6, which will be coming to Discord and Instagram shortly after our 3 races finish here and we get a chance to catch our breath. Thanks for tuning in, and hopefully we'll see you back for Series 6. Have a good night.